going?
All right, I want to welcome everybody today, and it means more than you know to have all of you here to help me celebrate my 81st birthday.
Yeah.
You'll have to forgive me if I break up every once in a while. I want to introduce Vicki and her husband Ken. We've only met this week, but we have had a lot of conversations over the phone and by email. Vicki is a videographer, and she has done a 1-hour special on an airboat builder from Palm Beach County that I was in first grade. He died several years ago of cancer, and I've been friends with his ex-wife. I knew his second wife and his boys. I was one of them in particular I've been very close to.
What's his name?
His name is Robert Stossel, Bobby Stossel. If any of you have ever been around airboats, you'll know the name Stossel hulls, because he made the finest airboat hull in the world, I believe. Anyway, I happened to be lucky enough that Becky sent a copy of her work to Bob, and about 3 o'clock one morning we were awake, and he said, "Would you like to watch the Stossel video?" Well, by the time I got to the end of it, I was really in tears, because this was a good man, and he had good kids, and I really appreciated the things he did. He stood behind Johnny and I when we were trying to raise money to do the things that we did. Anyway, she did such a beautiful job, and now we are talking that hopefully we can come up with the funding to have a documentary done about the work that Johnny did.
And Diane.
Well, Diane's on the next card. And like I said, we've just met face to face, but we hadn't met on the telephone. First person I'd like to recognize is my daughter Diane. The credit for the success of the Florida Wildlife Federation has to be laid a huge percentage at her feet. She was the nuts and the bolts, and her dad would say, "Diane, I need to go to such and such a far-off place. Dad, I don't know if we've got the money. We'll find it. You find it." And she found it. She and I would work 18-hour days. We'd work till 2 o'clock in the morning, get up, and be back on the job at 7. We put out The Guide to Hunting in Florida, which ended up being a bound book about yay thick. We printed it right here on the room on the other side of the kitchen. And truly, she and I set up, we would put our printed pages out, and Janine, and where is Mariana?
Right here. Sorry.
And Mariana were, no kidding, this big, and they learned to collate the pages. The Wildlife Federation wouldn't have been where it is without the dedication of these people. I have here that Diane was totally dedicated to the Wildlife Federation. She was also dedicated to her dad and I. Her name should be on every award and plaque that's hanging on the wall in here, because without her, it wouldn't have happened. Where's Aunt Kay? Oh, she's hiding. Yeah. I want you to meet Johnny's sister. This is Kay. I think we met when she was about 7 or 8 years old. So you can see we've been hanging around together for quite a while. Oh yeah. But he was generous to her, because he would say, "Kay, if you'll wash and dry the dishes, I'll give you a nickel."
And that almost bought your car.
His sister is not well. She was planning to be here today, but she is also not in videography, but she is a photographer. You have seen some of her work. She does fabulous work.
Who's that?
That we'll meet.
Name?
Is Linda King. Linda is quite a bit younger than Johnny and Kay and David. Cecilia is not here. She had errand of mercy to run to Okinawa today. She is married to my oldest, and her niece is my adopted grandchild. Michelle, my oldest granddaughter, and her husband Tommy. They've been married about 20 years. Wow, almost 23 years. Their oldest boy, their only boy, is Brenton. Brenton, how old are you now? 19. 19. He has just gone to work for Florida Sportsman magazine. That may not mean much to some of you that don't hunt or fish, but believe you me, it means a lot to me because I remember the Carl Wickstrom back when it was a little tiny thin magazine, and he was very cooperative. He helped us. We were trying to get rid of fish traps that caught fish 24 hours a day, month in and month out. And we've had a long relationship. And I went to a meeting, and unfortunately this one was in a hospital, but Carl was there, and I got to go over and talk to him, and I said, my grandson's working for you. And he said, what's your grandson's name? And I said, Brenton Roberts. And he said, oh, he is a fine man. So I'm really happy, and Bianca is Brenton's girlfriend, and she's been with us in our family for quite a while. Yeah, quite a while. And Amaya is their youngest, and she is an artist, a beautiful artist, and she's also a singer. We're very, very proud of her. Janine, you are always a blessing. Janine and I talk woman to woman. Shirley thinks she's still a little girl, but I'm going to tell you a secret. She's not. She's 42 years old. She keeps my house in shape. She mops for me since I can't. I'm lucky to be walking around, but she has, in the last year, taken wonderful care of me, and I just want to let her know. And Angelo, I don't know if he's still there. He is over here. Angelo, he is always around and helpful. Okay, just run away.
Sorry, Grandma.
Okay.
You had an AMR car in your front yard.
What's an AMR?
Emergency rescue vehicle. Sorry.
Okay. Besides helping me, Janine helps her mom. She cooks. Whenever Bob and I have to go somewhere that it's too much for Shirley to go, she watches her and helps take care of her. Before you leave, if you haven't seen Janine's garden, we had a little plot cleared away out here, and Janine and Angelo went out and planted a garden. I have a tomato in there this big around that I'm so proud of. It was too green to cut today. And the lettuce that was on the plate in there, Janine grew that. My great-granddaughter, Carrie, there she is over there. And she's gonna make me a great-great-grandmother for the second time. And little Hayden that runs around, who is the apple of my eye. And I have to tell you, Kay, listen to this. When Vicky saw Johnny's picture, no, when she saw Hayden's picture, she looked and she said, oh, he looks just like your husband. And that's what Diane's always said. So, I have two grandsons by Julie, my daughter who's deceased, David and Duncan. David is in Colombia.